G'day, I'm Rob, and this is the Kia EV3, a car that looked like it was designed in Minecraft. Kia's latest creation, the EV3. Small-ish, opposite to big-ish. It's in matcha green. Not a bad colour, so it matches with everything. Matches the sunset, matches the water, and the grey interior will also match with whatever you're wearing. It is what will happen when Kia make an EV between the E-Niro and the EV6. This is a smaller EV, the Kia EV3 SUV, which is smaller than the EV5 SUV and the EV9 SUV, hence it's EV3. See? Many people would tell you that EVs are no good outside the cities, no good in Australia, don't handle the open roads. Well, in this review, we're sort of prove that they do, because as you can see, not a city. And also, we've just come from the subalpine central tablelands of New South Wales, a place called Oberon, which is again is not a city. So far, I've picked up the car up in Sydney, 607 k's of range, we've driven it to Oberon, and now we're down here on the New South Wales south coast via Melbourne. So I will tell you with some confidence, this is a very capable long-range road tripper. And it comes to reported 600 kilometres of WLTP range, which is seems to be pretty close on the mark. Exterior-wise, that's where I may as well start on the outside, because Kia call this the opposite United design. I call it make the front look like a sort of smiling, frumpy cat. Upset, angry, I don't know, frumpy maybe. The back though, to me, looks quite nice too, and a bit on the frumpy side as well. Or some have said, they even call it a fat bottom girl for some reason. I have no idea why you'd call it that. Front headlights, LED projectors, 4 of them, 2 either side. I find they work the best when they're turned on, like they are right here. If they're turned off, they don't work so well. Under here we've got high beam, which is, well, pretty average, I guess. And also, as you can see, the car does exist in the space. I mean, it's right here. Speaking of space, total length of this car is 4.3 metres, width 1.85 metres, and height is 1.57. So it's about the same size as your average teenager's ego, and the wheelbase of 2.68 metres. It will actually fit inside most parking bays that the car will fit in. Ground clearance obviously comes in at 140 millimetres. Clear your average speed hump in your shopping centre. It'll clear the potholes. And it might not clear that, unfortunately, dearly departed wombat that decided to sleep in the middle of the road last night. When it comes to those country roads, you're rolling on 19 inches in the Earth model. This is the EV3 Earth Edition, the long range. So sort of the, not quite the GT spec, but it gets most of the good stuff, but it gets a better centre console we'll get to later. Rolling on Hankook Ion EV low rolling resistance tyres. That seem to absorb the bumps pretty well. Up the top here we've got roof racks, roof rails, which are good for mounting things like on the roof, things like kayaks and possibly small roof tent. Because remember, with 600 k's of range, you might actually be able to have a good weekend with this thing in your camping gear and get out in the bush. When it comes to efficiency, of course, we've got flush door handles which open at the front like that. Rear door. We have handle hiding up there in the plastic, so nice smooth door skin. Which actually looks pretty cool. So overall, it's quite a tidy little unit of a car. As I say, bit country, bit city, bit like me after a hard day in the bush, without a shower. Now, of course, this is an EV, which means you've got to charge it occasionally. I mean, charging port on the driver's side, which is not too bad because you do have access to the Tesla supercharger network with this car, and if you nose into a Tesla supercharger, it's almost the same position as a Tesla charger at the back of the car that reverses in. So you've got your standard CCS2 port here. There's your 2 part of the CCS part, and that's your CCS part of the CCS2 part. No bungs to fall out and lose or wave around in the wind, marking your paint. There's your guide of what's going on in there. And this is a 400 volt system and apparently will charge up to 300 kilowatts, I do believe, which is quite impressive. Oh, and also too, another handy little feature of this here, it's got vehicle to load. So while you're loading up your kayak and your tents on the roof, you can take your karaoke machine and ruin your weekend. So driving this little beastie, first thing I noticed is actually the seating position. It's quite high, and I like it actually, it's not too bad. Also, visibility initially is actually really good. Good visibility at that rear vision mirror to see what's coming up behind you. Side mirrors are good, and got a good sense where the front of the car is too, which is great. Now on this slightly windy country road I have here, it's full of the usual potholes and the the updated version, the pot humps, where they tried to repair the potholes and turn them into big bumps instead. I find the car is actually pretty smooth compared to like a Model 3, which is actually quite firm because it's a very high performance car, and a Nissan Leaf, which is also nice and smooth. This actually rides quite well, though when it does come to corners with potholes and pot bumps in them, it does get a little squirrely. You don't feel it too much through the wheel, but yeah, if you hit a pothole or heaps of bumps in mid corner, the car will still feel like it wants to skip off the road. But yeah, but I think that's most cars do that. But apart from that, I actually quite enjoy it. One thing I don't like about it though is the warnings. Well, I should say what is good about it is the lane keeping assist, where it's almost like a very early model Tesla autopilot. In corners above 75 k's an hour, it will steer around the corners quite well, maintain speeds, does all the stuff that radar cruise control and active cruise control already does, but the steering is actually pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's ping-ponging across the road, which I like. The downside though is that if you look away from the road, like look in the side mirror or look at the stereo or try to find your sunglasses, it will warn you that to keep your eyes on the road. And I mean, it's literally like 1.5 to 2 seconds and it's beeping at you all the time. That I found was annoying. But, you know, automated systems these days got to comply with the rules. Unfortunately, that's it. But overall, the driving this car, I think you'll quite enjoy it. Oh yeah, the dynamics though, it is a front-wheel drive car, so if you smash a throttle mid-corner, big front-wheel drive car, it would tend to like either run understeer or have a bit of a torque steer. But other than that, I just quite enjoy driving it. It's nice. Okay, voiceover time, because it was basically too windy and my audio quality sucked. So let's have a look at the interior of the EV3. And on the door you find your heat seaters, your butt ventilators and your hand warmers. Actually looks pretty cool, easy to see, easy to use, I like it. 2 decent sized drink holders, a single wireless charge phone for phoning a single charge, USB-C, USB-C and a 12 volt plug for plugging 12 volts. Decent underarm storage and more underarm storage. A lot of stuff in there. A glove box, no one ever puts gloves in anymore. You got your manual vent controls here, there's also some on the sides of the door pockets. But also too, you've got buttons here for like fiddling with things, some fondling. You also have the touchscreen as well, but the controls replicated here with these buttons. And of course, being an EV, it has a fartment. It's a little fartment, but a fartment nonetheless. Now taking it to the rear door has decent sized door pockets for drinks and speakers in there. As usual, the back of the seats has the Dryers Macca's chip holders, a randomly placed hat, and a centre armrest cup holder, which seems to be normal in most cars now. Of course, has a decent sized boot, underfloor storage, which actually does hold a full-size spare tyre, believe it or not, as you can see right there. Side pockets, and of course, automatic closing, so if you get your hands full of kids or rocks, you don't have to worry about damaging your target. So, the Kia EV3 Earth Edition, 604 kilometres of WLTP range, 150 kilowatts power, 283 newton meters of torque, do 0 to 100 in about 7.5 seconds. It's a big foot, a fartment. 1,000 kilo towing, a more safety kit that you can shake a smiley broken stick at. Stylish, practical, surprisingly capable. It won't climb Uluru, but it'll get you there at least, and happily do the school run when you get back. So whether you're a city slicker, or want to drive around Australia, or just here for some heated seats, this little EV has, well, got you covered. Price start $48,000. This Earth Edition seen here, 63k drive away, in matcha green being a $500 option. So thanks for watching. Much appreciated, and like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff the algorithm likes, and maybe one day soon I might get some more cars to test, just like this one. So, thanks again, take care of yourselves, I'll see you all later. Bye.